Welcome back to The Watch, and today I want to talk about YouTubers leaving the platform or taking a break.
Yeah, some taking a break, some retiring, some leaving for good. Retiring is weird, right? Because as a YouTuber, I've never really heard of a YouTuber like full on just walking away, uploading their last video, not coming back. It's always like, I'm retiring from this what I'm doing right now, but I'm going to do something over here.
It's interesting because YouTube hasn't been around. I think we're getting very close to the precipice of it, of like someone actually like, I'm retiring because I'm old. I'm going to go live in a cabin in the woods and like paint until I die. Like we haven't reached that threshold yet, but we're getting very close to it.
Right.
But as you were saying before with this other comment, a lot of people have stopped making their mainstream
what they're known for.
What they're known for.
Yeah.
So examples have been Matt Pat,
Tom Scott,
Captain Sparkles,
Meat Canyon. Meat Canyon's not, to be clear though, he's not retiring or leaving or anything. He's, from what I saw in the video, it's just he doesn't want to make the content that he's making for the most part.
Kind of burnt out or like just sick of it.
And he wants to take time to focus on the things that he does want to make. So
yes.
That's not really retiring, but it's one of those things where it's one of those symptoms of like, usually after that response, that's when you go, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Like,
yeah.
Not that he will.
Because they realize after you stop making the content, you go, oh, I like this lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. But there has been a lot of YouTubers who are like...
And it's happened very quickly. Like I think in the past 2 months.
Well, the fact that we're making this video is one of those things where we're like, I've noticed like 5 YouTubers in my
feed have been like,
yeah, I'm done. And I'm like, oh, okay, wasn't expecting that.
Yes.
I think the Tom Scott one was the only one where I knew that it's been coming because he made a video like last year or something like that.
Yeah, it's
like next year it's going to come. So I'm sad at that one because he makes such good content.
He does make good content. And most of them do. That's the thing.
Yeah,
the reason why they've
do.
had success is because they make really good content.
Yeah.
High production quality, engaging, fun, informative stuff. It's just funny to see as well for us being content creators when people do it for 10 years. And here's the thing, like they must have so much drive to accomplish this. Yeah. And that even reaches a point then, I think personally it becomes, once you've done this for a certain amount of time, you feel like you've done everything. You've accomplished your goal, basically.
So I think Matt Pat is the biggest. Him and Tom Scott would be debatable.
Yeah,
but like,
I think his announcement video that came out a few days ago was like massive.
Yeah, it's what's kind of kicked off the whole conversation in a lot of different realms. He's leaving. What is it? The Game Theorist, the Theorist channels and stuff like that, because he's been doing it for so long, and he wants to move on to other projects. That's the gist that I get of it all.
Yes.
And I get it. Like, you know, there are times where you do something for such a long time, specifically on YouTube. YouTube is one of those particular beasts where as much as I don't like it, you have to feed it the same food or else it doesn't.
It's got a very strict diet.
Yeah. And you kind of get burnt out by making the same exact thing a lot. And we've been making content for a long time. I'm not saying we're burnt out or we're tired and but
we love what we do.
We still love what we do. Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting because I think Tom Scott and Matt Pat are 2 really great examples because you've got Tom Scott who has been doing it mostly himself for a very long time and basically is retiring in the sense of like the channel is retiring as well. Where Matt Pat has basically built an empire.
Yeah.
And there's 2 ways you can do it as a YouTuber. You can basically do it yourself, as in like you are the branding and what you make is what you receive as well. And that's kind of it. So you have legacy content, I think. Yeah. The other side to it is Matt Pat's way of doing it, which is you build a brand and you're making something that will outlive you. You have a legacy of something that...
Is it Matt Pat's way? I mean, we've been doing that now.
No, but like, you know what I mean? Like, there's 2 ways. Like, Shad, for example, could have just like stopped making videos and focused more on writing, posted less.
Very irregularly, low effort sort of content.
Yeah.
Shad decided, start of last year, a year ago at this point, that he wanted to go bigger instead and wanted to try and step back a bit. Now, the funny thing was we started doing more fun content.
Which he wanted to be involved in.
It's Shad. So it kind of had the opposite effect. But it's one of those things where there are a couple of ways. And I think Matt Pat says it in his video. Like you can either go out.
You can go out on a bang,
or you can die slowly with relevancy and all that sort of stuff. And there's something that he said that is 100% true, is that YouTube is one of those things where you either just stop uploading one day, you just, okay, I'm done, that's it, or you have to post forever.
Yeah.
And that's one of the sad things about it is if you start a YouTube channel, doesn't matter what the YouTube channel is, if you want it to be successful in any sort of metric, once you start, you can't stop, which is crazy. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, it truly is one of those, it's a burnout machine. YouTube does become a burnout machine. You do the same sort of content. Like it's one of those things where if you're lucky enough to be a massive YouTuber, like Moist Critical, for example, you can kind of just
do your thing,
do whatever you want. That is not the standard though. The standard for YouTubers is once you have a template, you kind of follow the template. And once you break the template, people don't want to watch.
Yes.
And I think that's where Matt Pat found himself 100% in. And he's kind of like, I want to do these other things.
Well, he said like basically, me and my wife have been building this brand for like over a decade now, which is a really long time. Like in business sense, makes sense. But it's also like, I think of businessmen and other industries, probably after 10 years of working hard to build your brand, you want to break away a bit and either do something else or give attention to things that maybe not had your attention so much in, building of the business.
I don't think a lot of people understand how when we say that you have to make that specific type of content, how that's kind of where the burnout begins. Not only is it a machine that you have to feed, weekly, daily, whatever your content upload schedule is, but you also have to feed it the exact same thing. Like you said, a strict diet where that can get very monotonous, where you're just making the exact same thing.
He's made how many FNAF videos? Like he's torn some things apart, done maths on things. Like obviously it helps if you're passionate about it, but there's also, for example,
but there's a limit.
And like in sword YouTuber sense, what we do more, there's only so much history we can cover with things that are engaging and interesting before.
Well, it's like a katana review, right?
Yeah.
We've done so many katana reviews because we get sent so many. It's like, how
many more katanas can we say?
I feel like I'm saying the exact same thing every single time. It's always the same thing over and over and over. And it gets to the point where it's like, okay, let's do something. Let's do something else. So I think we both get.
Yeah.
All of us get.
We all get it.
We get it.
Now, here's my question. Do you think there's going to be, as more popular big YouTubers grow with age, get older, retire, stop uploading, do you think there will be other people to come in and fill in the voids? Or do you think we're going to see a transition in YouTube in terms of what the space is like?
I don't think we will. A lot of the YouTubers that are like retiring, semi-retiring, whatever it is, they're all massive YouTubers who are kind of, OGs. They've been around for quite a long time. I don't think that there will be anybody to take their place simply because there's so much oversaturation on YouTube. Anybody that's going to take their place is already there now.
Yeah.
Like if they're making similar sort of content or whatever it is, they're already there. They're already in that space. Nothing's going to happen. I do think it'll just be, as sad as this is to say, and it goes for us, it goes for any YouTube creator, is there's always like 10 other YouTubers that are kind of
doing the same thing.
Yeah. And when one leaves,
you get some of that pie, do you think?
Yeah, you just get some of that pie. They're just disperses. That's it.
Right.
And that's the truth of it. Like I feel like that's just how YouTube is as a platform. It's a massive monster that has endless amounts of choices, and that's kind of the thing where it's like when you have these competitors. This is kind of a little bit just in the YouTube sense because we made a video on like Rumble and other competitors to YouTube. They're nowhere near even close to YouTube.
No. Yeah. It's interesting too because I think as YouTube is aging, we're starting to see what we've kind of seen in Hollywood, where we're seeing celebrity people come and go now. We've seen, people from the 2010s who have, made their way to celebrityhood and then have retired or, as we said before, just was no longer important. And then you had new people come in, like new. I feel like in Hollywood it's different though, because I feel like for a very long time we've had the same actors and actresses be in lots of roles.
Yeah, the same thing.
Very few new people actually come into Hollywood now, where I feel like with YouTube, we're in a transitional period where all of the OGs, like PewDiePie, for example, as well, will still upload occasionally, but
he's finished his arc, But he's off in the sunset.
They're done. Their story is kind of finished now. They're not dead, thankfully, because we still need some of the content.
I haven't seen any new and upcoming YouTubers. And don't get me wrong when I say that. I want to see up and coming YouTubers. I want to see people who are doing, I want to find new people. I want to find new people of their content that I enjoy. But I feel like for me personally, I'm in a drought of new content and good
YouTube
content.
isn't recommending the right stuff to you?
It really isn't. Like it recommends me all the people that I regularly watch and they do great stuff. But at the same time,
You want some new people, yeah?
I still want the new people in there. I still want the new things. And I haven't seen any new and upcoming YouTubers that can fill the shoes of, you know, people that are leaving and stuff like that.
I'm trying to think. All the ones that I'm always aware of are already massive, already super big.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like, okay, you've already, you know, you're not up and coming now. You're part of the spotlight. But also the other thing with them is they're usually doing different things as well. Like there's never really a time, I don't think, where maybe the thing that happens most is like with gaming, there'll be like a relevant gaming commentary person like Markiplier or Jackson Pie. Those guys kind of transition away to different formats because maybe they do better or whatever. And then you get someone else new who comes in with a fresh take that does that. But I feel like with a lot of the other stuff, like I'm trying to think of the other bigger YouTuber. A lot of the upcoming creators now are doing different forms of content. And so I think for us, for example, we've been on the platform and maybe you viewers as well, we're not going to get recommended those people so much because they're not making videos that YouTube thinks we're interested in as well.
Yeah.
Like I think of a lot of the stuff I've been recommended recently have been people who do like more cinematic vlogs or the challenge videos or some of the building stuff, I think, which we both like, you get people with. But a lot of the more legacy content, I feel like new people aren't coming in to watch.
Yeah.
There's the other thing too of like audiences. Like MatPat is massive and has such a wide range of audience in terms of, you know, probably I think if
something else that has also been worrying me, I guess is the best way to describe it, is the ceiling level for quality on YouTube has gotten so high that for a regular person trying to step into that space, it's becoming a lot harder for them. Like, and don't get me wrong, I understand the other way. I don't want just people, you know, have their phone out, selfie, how's it going, guys? Like, that also isn't good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've gotten to a point where it's like the content that you watch and consume is at such a high level quality. Trying to compare that to someone new and upcoming on the platform, it's not even the same realm. So you have to be even more entertaining. You have to be even more engaging,
like charismatic. You gotta make better. And it's the thing too that's crazy to me is that back in the day, if someone had like a HD camera, you would watch their videos because like, oh damn, this is in HD. Or if someone like, I remember all the stuff I watched growing up was like lots of VFX stuff because they could afford After Effects and the computers can do it. So they would get millions of views because they were doing something no one else can do. Now, a lot of tools are accessible to people, whether that's with cameras, with editing, even like knowledge base. Back then, people didn't really know about switching thumbnails or doing stuff like that. Where now, like, there are full channels and businesses based off of how to be a YouTuber. And so all that information is accessible. And like you said,
I wonder how accurate those channels are. I kind of want to watch them now.
Some of them
I've like cursory every now and then something like an ad, one of those ad videos will pop up like, is YouTube doing this? Is how you're supposed to do it? I want to watch them just because I'm curious how accurate they are.
It's funny because I listen to some podcasts and watch some things, and the thing I've learned the most though with them is that YouTube is not one thing,
right?
And we've learned that as well on here. Like we've done live streaming, we've done shorts, we've done long form videos. Like whenever you do one of those things, it's completely different. And whenever you change topics as well, it's completely different. Like Night's Watch, this format works for this channel. Shadiversity, different stuff works for it. As soon as you go listen to those podcasts and it's like a challenge video person that says, you know, you need to be engaged in the first like 3 seconds of whatever, they're right for their content and that might be correct in terms of overlatching. But there's also people who, as soon as they have someone screaming in their face, I'm going to show you how to cut 3 water bottles with a giant sword, they're going to click away. And so it's
different content types have different, you know, rules and stuff like that. There isn't a handbook for this. Everybody's kind of doing their own
like
thing.
There is a rule of thumb for stuff, but people, like you've seen on YouTube here, we have different opinions to other people, you know, who make videos as well. That's just how the world works, surprisingly. A bit more tangenty on the topic, but like
it's fine. It's all in YouTube stuff.
It's just interesting to see these creators leave because I'm just curious at, you know, is MatPat going to come back in 5 years? Because I feel like that's...
Well, I think he's working on some other projects.
Yeah, but like I think of Miyazaki, like Studio Ghibli. He's retired like 5 to 8 movies ago.
Yes, but it's also a different thing. Like, remember, usually when I hear a YouTuber is retiring, and even when they say they're retiring, they're not really retiring. They're just doing something different.
Well, like you said before,
and a lot of
streamers who said before, it's like, oh, this is going to be my side hustle, my hobby now.
Yeah.
Still makes you money, but you know.
Even like the Tom Scott thing, like he's retiring from doing videos on what he used to do, but now he's kind of doing some other stuff. Same with Matt Pat. I think he's doing something else now. It's not really retiring in the traditional sense of like, okay, I've finished my job for 50 years. Now I'm going to go, play golf and,
it's
have
funny
recreational time.
I think YouTube has actually ruined people from being able to do that because YouTube creates people who just love to work and produce things, and they're creatives. And as soon as they retire, they are miserable because they're like, I don't want to play golf every day. Yeah. I don't want to sit and consume content. They always want to make it. And I say this, and you sigh because you know you're one of them.
Whatever. But you're right. Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about with Matt Pat and stuff is the new panel of people he's going to have producing content for him. Do you think the theory channels will find success?
I think, first off, I think they already have such a massive user base that in some form of another, yes. There are a couple of channels that come to mind that have tried to move away from a singular, the original founder or whatever it is, to a hosting, a different sort of format with multiple people. Yeah. Now, I think we've done it successfully. I would say we have.
Yes.
There are some other channels that I think have, but there are also some other ones that I think have not. And I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but there is a channel that comes to mind that was a really, really good channel that did awesome stuff, and then basically some stuff happened, some sad stuff, and they tried to do the host
rotating hosting,
and it didn't work in the end. Now, I think the reason why it didn't work was because they strayed away from the core stuff that made the channel good in the first place. I think going forward, specifically in the Matt Pat example, I think they'll be fine because he's already integrated them into, from what I saw in the video, like they're already writing episodes and stuff like that. So I think they're going to be fine. Yeah. So long as they stay what people want. They want that strict diet. Yeah. If they get that strict diet, I think they'll be fine.
Yes. I think because he's got different channels, like there's a fashion channel he's got, and he's probably less on that. I actually haven't watched them, so I could be completely wrong here. Other people probably are more prominent hosts on that than he is, and so that makes more sense for transitioning. Game theory, I reckon we'll see, obviously with the last couple of episodes he's doing, there's going to be a massive spike in everyone watching his last few videos, and then probably people are very interested to see how the new hosts are. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of a plateau and a dip, but it
takes time. It's one of those things that does take time. And what usually can win someone, like an audience member, back, right? Let's just say you want to transition into this new format or new hosts, right? Yeah. If you create engaging content that they would want to watch, then they're more likely to watch those videos and then give them a chance. And then once you keep doing that repetition, they go, you know what? Now I like these new hosts. I like this thing, I miss the old stuff, but at the same time, this is different, but it's still good.
Yes. I immediately think of, you're going to say,
go.
I immediately think of, there's actually a good game how do I explain this? There was a TV show on, okay, you're already,
I don't know.
Okay. Good Game is in Australia. It's a gaming TV show, and they started doing online stuff, and they're basically like daily news stuff. Yep. And there's this one host named Hingers, and I loved him because you just get attached to hosts when they first start out. Changed hosts to this new guy, Nick Boy, and at first I was like, who is this guy? Thinks he can. But as soon as he did like a video that was like charismatic, funny, and like off the cuff, respect straight away. Yeah. And so I think it's possible. People
naturally don't want things to change as if they like how it is, but then once they, sometimes it might take a little bit of time, but I think once people get used to it, they go, oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Now moving, I don't know if they're going to move to like one person hosts a singular video, if it's singular, or if it's going to be more of a group thing. I didn't see that, so I don't know. But I do wish them the best. I wish all of them the best. Yeah. I wish all creators the best, really. And I am interested to see how it goes. I think they'll be fine because they're just massive. Yeah. They're massive.
And as well, if anything goes wrong, I'm sure Matt Pat would come in a heartbeat kind of to pick up the pieces and try again. Yeah. I think. Yeah. As much as he probably wants to go and do other things, as we've seen with other creators. As soon as something doesn't go right with the channel, because they are so invested in it, they will come back and try to fix it. Yeah. But yeah, I guess this is just a fun discussion because YouTube is a newer medium. It's not like books and like with authors and stuff. When you think about books, like they just write their books until they die, and then that's kind of it. Movies and TV, we've seen, you know, actors and directors come and go. YouTube, it's like it's a different space, and it's weird to see people. The thing I think most people are shocked at is that when Matt Pat says, "I've been doing this for 13 years," and everyone goes, "Whoa, buddy, 13 years! I've been watching you for how long?" Like, people are realizing that they're old. Yeah. People are aging. Yeah. This has been a while now.
It's one of those things where time passes, and especially for a YouTuber, like things pass lightning for us. And
we're time travelers.
It's a constant feeding of the beast.
Yeah.
Even if you plan things, even if you schedule things, it's just a constant feeding of the beast. And it gets to a point where once you do it for multiple years, okay, I want to kind of do some other stuff now. I kind of want to, you know, I like this. I want to try that, you know. So it's one of those things where he obviously realizes that he's not going to take that channel in a new direction because that would be very bad for how the channel would go. So he's going to go, okay, well, I'm going to go do my own thing now, and the channel can
stay how it is. Yeah.
I think that's everything.
That's it. That's it all. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section as well. And if you enjoyed this video, consider supporting us. We have many different ways, whether that's through memberships, Subscribe Star, Patreon, Player.
We appreciate all the support.
Yes.
And don't worry, we're not going anywhere.
No, we are sticking around. This year, 2024, we will...
What? Nathan's not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Everyone in the recruitment video is like, is Nathan gone? No, I was just... What's the point of having 3 people for a job listing video? That's my thought. Yeah.
We also got a little bit of update on that. We got a whole bunch of applications.
Yeah, thank you for all.
Thank you everybody who applied, and we will be getting back to people shortly.
Yes.
And thanks for that, guys. But that's going to be everything for today's video. Let us know in the comments if there's any YouTubers we missed that like you subscribe to or whatever that is looking and finishing up. It's been a lot very quickly, which is why I think a lot of people are kind of like, hold on, what's going on?
See, I think if it was like, I mean, Matt Pat still would have made news.
He would have made news.
But because there was like 8 other people who were also leaving, everyone's like freaking out that there's just going to be like no YouTubers by tomorrow.
Yeah. But that's going to be all for today. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, stay on watch.